Have you ever had that I got swallowed by a whale moment?
Yeah, like spent 2024 debilitated by anxiety. I being like, it's just butterflies in your tummy, get over it. Panic attacks are a real thing.
I've actually gone through a serious panic attack, which I didn't think they were real. Literally, I took the wrong turn off the stinking tunnel and then started convulsing at the steering wheel. Bawling eyes, shaking, uncontrollable. My heart was like exploding out of my chest. I'm like to my wife, she's like, what's going on? What the heck? I'm like, I can't do this.
One of the things that has been like a real narrative in, I think, Gen Z, they want authenticity. Like acoustic worship is like more authentic than like full band worship.
Okay.
They actually don't care about that. They want the real you. They don't want polished, but they want you to talk to them about the real thing that you know.
So who's on your top 3 hit list?
Ethan Beer,
Shire and I?
we are in direct competition.
Yeah.
We want to take everything down except Southland.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Just remember, if you click that little subscribe button, it will help so much get these episodes out to people who need to hear it. And we know we receive messages all the time of like, thank you so much, exactly what I needed, exactly what I needed to hear. This is amazing. And so that's what that does. Would you also connect with us on Instagram, connect with us on our website, our emails on there. We would love to connect with you. What I'd also love for you to do is to jump into the comments on the reel and just let us know, who would you love to see on the podcast? Who's the ideal person to sit down for a chat on Kingdom Creatives? And we'll do our best to get them. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to the Kingdom Creatives podcast. My name's Sam. This is Josh.
Yeah, let's go.
And we have the man, the myth, the legend, all the way from Adelaide,
Wow.
Mr. Lochie Hogarth.
Welcome. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Bro, what the heck are you doing in Queensland, man?
Yes. What are you doing here?
I've been here for a couple of days doing a riding camp with Southland.
Oh,
Okay. And how was it? Have you got anything you could show us? Any voice memos?
Do you know what? No, because I'm waiting on Elliot Burnett to send me the demo.
Who's not?
You know what?
Who's
I'm
not?
waiting on Elliot Burnett too, and I just got a text from him actually.
Oh, yeah, shout out.
And he said, hey, don't tell Lochie, but I'm not going to do the thing.
Oh, shout out him.
He literally just said, sorry, lads, been at riding camp this week.
Yeah.
Was that? So that's not a direct competitor, that photo I saw online for the Shire events?
No, we are in direct competition.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, no, we want to take everything down except
Yeah,
Southland. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so you guys are on a world domination.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Adds up.
yeah.
Yeah. Except for South.
Yeah.
So who's on your top 3 hit list? So Shire Knights, they're going to go.
I want to say Ethan Beer, but
Yep.
he was in this. We wrote an amazing song yesterday. So
That's
Okay,
okay,
so
because that was for
he's
Southland.
safe.
He's safe, yep.
Jessie Rose was also.
Okay, so she's safe.
So she's safe.
Both of which just came on the podcast.
Yeah, great.
So that's fine. We're with them too. We stand with them.
Unfortunately, we're making friends and we want to be taking everyone down. But no, I'm just joking.
So who else is on the hit list? There's a group in Sydney that probably need to go.
This is good for
They're
clips.
amazing. I would love to talk about this stuff. Like all this. stuff.
Actually, let's talk about it. All these things popping up.
Oh, so real.
So good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a great sense of unity. Do you feel that?
100%.
And it's similar to what you guys are doing with Extol. Tell us about that. I think it's similar to all these things.
Yeah,
that
these
we're
style
seeing.
gatherings.
Yeah. What do you do?
So I'm a creative pastor in my church. Been pastoring our team for 7 years and been on staff for like nearly 11 years now.
Since you were like 4?
Yeah. So I'm 15.
Yeah.
Come on to get my L's next year.
Yeah, nice.
Pumped, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be
You're doing the Madness run with the youth kid.
Yeah, can't wait, man. No, I'm 29, and I've got 2 kids, and 2 on the way.
Bro, he's
Oh,
having
let's go.
twins.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
2 to 4 is a jump.
It's gonna be significant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you bought a Carnival, haven't you?
Bought a Kia
Dude,
Carnival.
they're lit.
So
They're lit.
They're
Did some
actually
rims
amazing.
on that?
They're really, yeah, I know. I actually noticed the other day, like we got these like big charcoal rims on. I've never noticed it, but it's kind of dope.
It's like almost like lowered. It's like, this is going to be sick.
Yeah, I'd love to just drop it.
Has yours got the one where you can like talk to the kids in the back in the microphone?
No, but I want to get some
Yeah.
sort of intercom
Yeah.
situation.
Because there'll be a lot of wrangling.
Yeah.
Is this your one?
Yeah, it's similar to that, man. Yeah, it is.
Dude,
I
they're
think we're
nice,
one
eh?
generation older than that, but they're really cool.
We could put some neons on it.
Dude, no, that one's sick, actually.
I kind of want to put like a 6-inch lift on it. Like,
Stick-inch lift. I want to put hydraulics in mine one day just so I can bounce.
I'm not a car guy. I'm just saying stuff I've heard.
No,
Like,
that's good.
meant to say.
It's spoiler.
Could you name one part of an engine of a car?
Like the engine.
Yeah, like in the engine, yeah.
Battery.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, good.
Like what else is there? There's like
Oh, then I got-
radiator.
Oh, there we go. Hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, anyway, so that's me. I'm a creative pastor, songwriter, and yeah, just love the church, man. Love the church. When I was 19, I've like avoided, I feel like I've run from, like, you know when you have a dream and you just are running and you don't get anywhere and like there's a big bad thing creeping up on you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's happened to me in ministry. Like I've tried so hard to run from, like, my parents are pastors. They were amazing, like never made me feel like church was a chore. Like I wanted to be there. And then there was times when I didn't want to be there and they allowed me to do that. And so I feel like my whole life I've run from ministry, like became, like really gave my heart to God when I was 14 and at Easter camp. Like Good Friday night, like they played Passion of the Christ, which I think is insane. Like
Best movie ever made.
it's amazing, but like, yeah, like it's an R-rated movie. Like it's so
Actually, I didn't think about that. 14-year-old watching Passion of the Christ.
yeah, it was
There's
pretty
probably like 12-year-olds there too at a youth camp.
Yeah, there's probably no like child protections back then.
No, it was loose. It was a
Yeah.
different time.
Yeah.
So, you know, gave my life to God then, and then probably spend the next 5 years running pretty hard from like all the stuff I felt to do. I don't really know why. I haven't seen a therapist yet, so that'll happen one day, obviously. But yeah, and when I was 19, I was at Hillsong Conference, and God just like put a fire in my heart for the church. Like
So good.
and it has just never gone. Like as I've tried to douse the thing, like tried so hard to like quench so many times. Like,
What do you mean by that? Like, how have you tried to like?
I just wish I could do something else sometimes. Like, you know, you just get tired, or you feel like the uphill is just too hard, or you're not seeing the things you've got on your heart and stuff, but like you get hurt by different church experiences and different people, and you just want to Jonah and run. But every time God just beckons me back to the church, like, and I love it. I genuinely love the church. And that's just not died for like 11 years now since I had that moment.
What sort of experiences are you referring to? Like, what's happened? Can you share any?
Yeah, have you ever had that I got swallowed by a whale moment?
I mean, yeah, like, you know, it's been a really big couple years for me personally. And like we had a kid, like our first kid and then our second kid, and we were living with my parents-in-law, and like it's a long way from family and church and my friends and stuff. And so just like, and I was trying to figure out what am I doing in this season, like obviously pastoring our team and stuff, but just like had a really crazy year of some, like, I haven't shared about this publicly, but like really crazy year of some like hectic anxiety stuff, to be honest. Like spent probably 2024 like pretty consistently like debilitated. We're
Really?
not deep
Wow.
early, but like
this is good. It's
yeah,
usually
pretty
Dive on in.
consistently like debilitated by anxiety and like so consumed.
Wow.
wow.
And I being like straight white tough Australian male was definitely a bit like, it's just butterflies in your tummy, get over it, anxiety. Not to that extent, obviously. Like I have some empathy and compassion for people, but
yes, but ultimately,
the real thing,
just get over it.
yeah, or just like think your way out of it, or you know, that all of that stuff, like just never having experienced that. And then like, you know, panic attacks are a real thing. And
Can you tell me about that? I've never had one, but I've definitely felt.
do you want to? I'm joking.
Can I have it? No.
Yeah.
No, but like, tell me about that. Like, what's that like? Can you tell me a story? Or firstly, I want to know, because I knew this a little bit. We've chatted before, but I didn't know that to that extent it was that serious.
It was like, yeah, it was a lot, and it's probably something that now, like having people in my world who've walked through that stuff as well, finding the words for some stuff that I feel like for a long time I've actually kind of felt levels of anxiety, and then having kind of the like peak moments of it go like, oh, that like gave context for some of the like moments in my life where I probably have felt anxious. Like I probably just never, I was like, I'm feeling don't know about stuff and paralyzed or whatever. But now having context, having gone through some more serious moments of it, like, I don't know, man, like there's been like my heart rate just explodes. you feel like your insides are like squeezing all together and you just like can't breathe and can't see. Yeah. Like
Really?
like
Yeah, wow.
yeah, really wild.
Where were you when some of these things were happening? Like in the car on the way to things, or like?
Yes, that stuff has happened. Like waking up in the morning just with like a bit of a
Wow.
tinge of it, and then certain moments throughout the day trigger you and stuff. Like, you know, I was worship leading at a conference last year, and they're doing like the preamble stuff before you get up, and I'm like side stage and like proper. I don't know, like don't remember the set. Just like grace of God got through it, and you know, by the end of it, like came out kind of, you know, okay. But like that whole week at that conference, just like consistent hectic moments. I was preaching at a church in Melbourne, backstage, like that time, probably that time in Melbourne was probably the first time it like manifested like that.
Wow.
And I'm kind of like backstage, like I actually can't do this kind of thing. And like 5 minutes before, I'm like, this needs to be at least interview. Like I can't get up there and preach solo. Like I don't know what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, like that was like really big for me last year, like a really big kind of time. Yeah, I don't know why we started talking about that.
What sort of caused that, do you think? Like what was it?
I think like circumstance and kind of place was a big part of it. Like I was doing a lot of travel last year and have been for the last couple of years, and I think I probably discovered like I really need my people who like get me. You know, when you're a pastor, like you have to be so much for so many.
Totally.
And being a father, being a husband, like when you don't have language for your feelings or your mental health and stuff, it can be that who you are for others can be quite consuming, and not like who you actually are or what you're grounded in. Like it can be quite a lofty thing. And then sometimes you just kind of fall off the horse and you don't really know how to get back up. And I think I was probably trying to do too much for too many. And there were little things like trying to start this little, you know, production business thing on the side. And I think that was honestly just a striving, like good idea that wasn't like God graced me to do some stuff, but you know, it probably was a Lochie idea and not a God idea.
You get found out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Do you feel you're like an extrovert, introvert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm
like that
socially quite extroverted, but as I get older, I'm definitely like needing, it's probably not that I need time alone. I don't do great alone, to be honest. But I need my people who I can just be fully me with. And like God has like in the last 2 years given, like just handed those people to me on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Like been so beautiful, some of the relationships that have been formed and forged in this last couple of years. And they're all over Australia, like, which is just amazing. Like even being here with you, like
Love you,
man. You know, that's been, people all over Australia. So when I've had to go places, like I just have family and home and like my people. And so that's been really cool.
That's so important, hey?
Yeah, big time. So like the introvert side of me, I just need to be able to be me and not have to be something for someone.
I've actually gone through something similar once. I've only had it once happen to me, like a serious panic attack, which I didn't think they were real. And it was the weirdest thing. Hey, I was driving, I think, to a date night with my wife. And then can't remember, it was a year or two ago. And there was just a lot like, so what I do, I found, because I'm like extrovert, introvert. So a lot of people just think I'm an extrovert, but I'm actually a very internal processor. And I naturally do the fun thing of like, something will happen that I won't like or something, but then I can really easy bottle it down. And then I have found since that moment on the other end, if I don't ever let it out in whether it's talking to someone, or I've actually found over the years that I was actually getting a lot of these things out of me just through my creativity.
Yeah.
Through things. And like, I didn't realize I was doing that. Like when I resonated with something, there was like actually this thing deep down inside that I was actually pouring into projects. And then sometimes they turned out really good. because it's like I was just actually like not venting, but getting those things out. And then all these pressures, stress, I think it was like every level of my life, there was just something going on. I was driving, literally I took the wrong turn off the stinking tunnel, Clem 7 tunnel, wrong turn. Literally then this guy honked me, cut me off, and then literally started convulsing at the steering wheel, like bawling eyes, shaking, uncontrollable. My heart was like exploding out of my chest. I'm like to my wife, she's like, what's going on? What the heck? I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm like, pulled the car over on the side of the road in the tunnel.
Wow.
Like I could not drive. And then she couldn't get out to swap driving. So I had to drive out. Yeah, so I had to drive. So I had to drive a bit more. And then I just stopped bawling my eyes out, like so afraid.
Really?
And then at least just calmed me down a bit, prayed for me. And then like kind of moved on from it. But then since then, put a safeguard that once a week, at least my wife and I will always talk about anything, no matter what it is. And there's no judgment about whatever, whether it's to do with each other, work, friends, life, what your thoughts are, how you feel in situations. It's like, we're going to create that space just so this doesn't happen to either of us again. Because I think it's probably a lot of things with a lot of creatives, because a lot of them are internal, and it's like got to do with this, like you're just bottling things up. Like I don't think it's one thing that pushes you over the edge. Like someone cut me off in traffic, and that's what like just made me explode because I'm like, oh, I hadn't been talking to anyone about all this stuff, and then I hadn't been releasing it through my creativity, which I didn't even realize I was ever doing. But like I went back in our lives and we're talking about things of like, oh, how come that affected you this time? And I'm like, I realized I'm like, oh, I hadn't had the chance to like let that out of me. So it's like just builds up. And it's like, haven't had one since, but it is like such an interesting thing that, and I do find like some of everyone's obviously different, but like I do find, because I'm not naturally wanting to share anything with anyone. It's not easy to let that out. So I had to put that in place with my wife. I'm like, no matter what's happening, once a week, we're going to talk about it. Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah. I think like, you know, there are times when you don't really realize how high the water's getting. And like, you know, I love a swim in the ocean. Like it's probably one of the things that just like it gives me so much peace. Like, and it clears my head, like all of that stuff. And I think, you know, when you're really deep and you haven't got your feet on the ground, like one choppy little wave can like, it's like head underwater. And I think sometimes, like probably last year, I think how I'd say it is that like, I didn't realize how high the water had gotten. I didn't realize how far my feet were off the ground kind of thing. Just the pressures of life and like navigating fatherhood and, you know, just change in a lot of different places. And like God knocking on the door of my heart for like some new kind of stuff. I just didn't quite realize. And so like getting on stage, which is something I've done for 20 years, like I don't feel uncomfortable up there, is like sends me over the edge. Or like talking to creatives, like love it. That's what I just love spending my time doing. Sends me over the edge. Getting in a song right with like, you know, someone that I don't know that well who's like a hero to me or whatever, like sends me over the edge. And so that's probably, I just spent a whole year with that, to be honest. And, you know, there are moments and stuff now, but I've got a little bit better language to articulate, some better tools to kind of help deal with it. Yeah, because like, you know, at this point in my life, the water's pretty high, like kind of all the time. 2 young kids, you know, doubling that pretty soon.
It's wild, bro.
Mortgage, ministry, all the stuff, like just the pressures of life and the hopes and desires I have for my heart, like in my heart, for like a world that I see, you know, carrying that and feeling quite alone sometimes, like, you know, one little chop in the wave can like really put you under. So, you know, but that's been my kind of journey over the last couple of years, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, if we're getting real, I'm feeling this, like I feel the same. I don't know if I've ever had a panic attack maybe. Oh, actually, no, yes, I did have a panic attack. Actually, no, it just came to me. Start of this year, I literally was working at the studio in Coolum.
Yep.
By myself. And then I just started thinking about things and stresses and stuff. And then I literally just like, this room started spinning. This never happened to me. I'm like an extra, like you know me, you guys know me, like I'm not like this.
You ever thought you usually talk to someone about this?
Room starts spinning and then I like literally spinning, like swirling like this. I got to get out of this room. So I left that room and went to another room that was just pitch black, the podcast room. And I just laid on the ground and stared at the ceiling for 2 hours.
Wow.
Bro, have you guys ever had that? I was just like I was paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I did feel a spiritual sense on one end. There's for sure, I think, a spiritual aspect which we don't like to talk about because we don't want to, you don't want to give the devil too much credit, and you also don't want to disregard him completely. So there's an element that I definitely felt was spiritual, and I got up and I prayed and really had to rebuke that spirit. But there's another element that's like when you feel pressure, there's a temptation to there's two responses you can have. There's one response like this pressure is proving my faith genuine, or this is a pressure that's going to crush me. And I was actually reading literally this week because I'm feeling in a similar way, feeling a lot of pressure at the moment. Like I'm feeling a lot of pressure pretty much in all areas, which has been difficult. But also, as I was reading this week, just felt for the rest of the year just to read over and over in Romans 5 says, not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. That word, the Greek word for character, this is cool. I won't try and dokimazo, but it's to test or to examine or to prove genuine.
Yeah.
So there's suffering and pressures that happen in life that is producing character. What is that doing? Well, it's actually putting us through the furnace to go, and God is testing us to go, is this genuine? Is this real? Because we love to give lip service and we love to go, God, I give you my life. I give you everything. God, all of this is yours, right? We're all guilty of it. And then when one little fire or pressure comes, we just basically cave because we're not ready to actually go through. And God's grace abounds. You know, when sin is present, what is it? Grace abounds all the more, right? But there is this testing, I feel like, and we're all like similar age. When you get to our age, right? A couple kids, a mortgage, all these pressures. You go from 2 wages down to 1, and it's all these things, right? And so I feel like there's this pressure that caves a lot of people. A lot of my friends, it's knocked them out. It's knocked them out of faith. It's knocked them out of their marriage. And I'm not saying I'm any better, but we have a response when pressure comes.
Yeah, fully.
To lean into the fact that, okay, God's pressuring me on all sides right now. Why? Because he's trying to prove our faith as genuine, and like, I'm saying that right in the middle of the fire. I'm not like on the other side going, see, look, I went through it, now look at it. Like, I'm right in the middle right now. And I feel like the response I had in January when I had that panic attack was not faith, was not God's refining me so I can lean on his strength and endure because of him. It was like I crumbled. I think that revealed something in me that I wasn't ready, you know what I mean, to go through the trials and tests that the Lord calls us to do. And another quick side note, when we sign up to this Christian life, like, we're not signing up to roses and dandelions. Like, we're signing up to carrying our cross.
Yeah. And I think, like, the beauty of the Christian life is not not that we get these worldly benefits because we've signed up to like the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, the beauty of it is that we have this hope in Christ Jesus as an anchor for our soul when these times come. Like, that we know that there is a greater purpose. We know there's a greater man. And we know that there is a greater finish to it all. And we have to just have hope. And like, I was laughing before because like we wrote on that scripture yesterday.
Oh, did you? Really?
Yeah, that like suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance produces characters.
Yeah,
and
character
just like
produces
waking
hope.
up.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like the end of our suffering is hope.
Yeah.
The end of our suffering is not like our own glory.
Yeah.
It's not like
Goosebumps.
worldly benefit. It's not money. It's not provision even. Like, these things are things that God absolutely brings to us. But the end of our suffering is hope in Christ Jesus.
Yes.
Because, I think it's in Colossians, it says that like he brings us peace by the blood of his cross.
Yes.
Like, that is the win, is the peace of God by the blood of his cross, not the peace of God by the provision of God or by the like financial gift or by the like position that you find yourself in. It's peace that he gives us, knowing that that our debt is paid, So yeah, man.
It's not easy.
Nah, life's not easy, but we have this hope.
I don't know how people do it without God, man. Like,
There is a world waiting. There is a hopeless world that needs the hope of Jesus Christ.
Man, it invigorates me. It excites me to tell people about Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
For so long, I was so like nervous to have those conversations. I felt like maybe I wasn't like, I didn't want to come across weird or whatever.
Yeah.
But
You come across weird anyway.
Dude, well, we sign up.
truth, isn't it?
No, here's the thing. We are weird. Like, we
we're
believe in
weirdos.
eating the flesh and blood of somebody to give us life. We believe in dying so that we can have life. Like, this Christian life is weird. And so as soon as I just accepted that and went, oh no, this is actually weird, but that's the whole point.
Yeah, imagine telling someone like, oh, every Sunday I go, we yell, we jump around, we sing a song, everyone together says the same prayer. Like, it's a weird,
Yeah, and also
already it's weird.
our theology is just like, it's weird.
It's like,
But it's good. Like, that's the whole point. It's
Yeah.
the upside down kingdom. It's this thing that doesn't make sense.
When you do have that character that comes to you via the perseverance and by the suffering, like, people see that, man. Like, people really see it. And like,
it's an infectious
there is a world that's actually, this generation is looking. Like, they actually have their eyes open for the real thing. Like, many of them, Gen Z, have their eyes open for the real thing. Like,
Totally.
our city campus is like only Gen Z, like only under 25, actually only under 25. And we have stories of like Matt Hassett, who you guys both know. He DMs this guy who's like TikTok famous for his cafe or whatever.
oh yeah, homeboy? Is it?
Yeah.
Let's
DMs him and says, can I make an ad for you for free? And he's like, of course, like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so
50,000 followers, yes.
yeah, well, 500,000.
Oh, now? Dang.
Yeah. So he makes this ad and it's all our guys on the
Dang, yes, 311K TikTok followers.
Yeah, and he's got
Insta's bigger.
He's got
I think.
500,000 on Insta. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I was classic, like algorithm fed me like one of his first videos.
Yeah.
Really?
18 opens a cafe or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've
Blows
seen-
up.
So he's 20 now, and Haas messages him, and he does this ad, which is the first pinned thing. Spill the beans, but anyway, it's all our guys on the shoot and stuff, and he's literally like, he's 19, and he's like, "What's different about you guys? Like, there's something different about you." And they're like, "We're Christians, and like, we believe that for God so loved this world that He sent His only Son, and all this stuff." And he's like, something's been just telling me to open my Bible lately and like read my so he's like reading this big like ornate family Bible thing, and they invite him to do Alpha, gives his life to God. And this is like a year ago, man. Like, gives his life to God, brings all his mates to church. They all get saved.
So cool.
And we're seeing so many stories like that at our city campus. There was this girl who's like on her porch, literally like bottom of her life, like so broken in her heart, just crying out like there has to be something more to life than this, like no faith background or whatever. She opens her Instagram and it's a reel that Tommy from Homeboy made. So he started doing like socials for our city campus, made this reel, and it's like, is there, I can't remember exactly, but there's more to life than this.
Yeah, nice.
And she's watching it. And this guy, Luke, who's Tommy's best mate, who got saved at our church, is in the video. He went to school with this girl. She's like, what the hell? Like, why is Luke at this church thing? So she comes to church. She can't bring herself to come in. She circles the block 5 times and like, she's like, screw it, I'm just going in. And she comes in and gives her life to God, just has this encounter with Jesus. Wow. And like the world is looking for that point of difference. They're looking for like, there is more to life. Like, they're not looking for make my life better. They're looking for the real thing, like the changed heart and the changed mind.
Especially Gen Z.
Especially because one of the things that has been like a real narrative in, I think, Gen Z, which is great, is like they want authenticity. And church people love to like find out what's the formula of that. Like acoustic worship is like more authentic than like full band worship, or like, no filter on the photo is like more authentic than like filtered photo. They actually don't care about that. They want the real you.
Yes.
Like the real, they don't want polished in the sense that like the production's one thing, but they want you to talk to them about the real thing that you know.
Yeah.
They don't want like stage voice. They don't want like, they want the real thing. And it's in such contrast to some of the like negative media about Gen Z that they actually are so hungry for the real legitimate thing, and they're looking for it. And they keep finding the wrong thing, but many of them are finding the right thing. Many. We're having like dozens of new people a week who are like totally unchurched coming to our city campus. And it's like pretty rough at city. It's in an old building. Leading worship there is like a pretty weird experience because they don't know anything. And you're like, like Jesus is who we're like singing to, and they're like singing, like, why are we singing? And it's like, you know, now you've got to do the whole like historical why are we singing church kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they don't know anything. Lift our hands, but like then they begin to kind of embrace these Christian traditions and this like Christian way of living. Like, you know, there's guys who are like 6 months ago, like, should I move in with my girlfriend? They've become Christians. They're like navigating this new, and we're like, oh, it's like not ideal probably. And then God goes, you guys aren't right together. And they're like good looking, wealthy young guys in our church choosing God's voice, who don't know anything about God, choosing God's voice over like the things they want.
Yeah, wow.
And it's like Gen Z want the real thing. They really do. And I think like we have to like learn how to be real, like, and learn how to be honest.
How do we do that?
How do we?
Yeah.
Like get over ourselves, stop playing church games.
Yeah.
And just like talk to
yourself.
people.
Yeah, it's so real.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's like systems can only do so much.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like systems are important so you don't lose things.
Yeah, any structure.
Yeah, no, I mean, you need something to a degree, but it's like, it's like you're not going to buy a course
Yeah.
on how to get someone saved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you see those church professionals and stuff, and it's like, sure, they got
Church
good
professionals.
ideas and stuff, but it's like, that's not going to what's ultimately going to do it. It's right.
I think so much about embracing the mess of life, and not like, and then, I mean, this is me and my preference, but like church doesn't have to be messy to be real. You know, scripture says the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So like we had times in our church where like my brother was our youth and young adults pastor for a while, highly prophetic. My dad is our senior pastor, highly prophetic. I feel like I'm pretty prophetic in my ministry. Our associate pastor at the time was like highly prophetic. We could get to the end of a Sunday and have had like 50 minutes of like God breathed prophetic words and stuff like that. And it's all the right thing, you know what I mean? Like it's all great, but the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet, which means actually we have to like learn how to, I've got something to say at all times, like, because I'm just like, I can talk, love it.
Yeah.
But at some point we have to kind of like, order is necessary and order is good and order is God. Like it's an ordered world. It's an ordered creation. You know, Acts 2, like there's the 3,000 thing in one day, but then very next moment, they're like appointing people for administration and leadership and like all of this. Order is important. So people don't want to feel like their mess is not allowed in the place, but they also don't want to like be only in messy places. Like it doesn't have to be totally organic about everything. Like people need to be like, because if my life is left up to pure, like just organic, it's hell. Like it's total chaos. I'm never applying to any one of my texts. I have to put in my life order so that I can be the best version of myself for the people around me. And we have to do that as the church as well.
Well, it's like being real. It's like you don't know what the worship leader's gone through on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But they're going to get up and worship God. You know what I mean? It's like, but then you might talk to them and they're like, I've just found out I had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The day before. It's like, there's like,
I'm really struggling with sin. And it's like, we've got to figure out how to like, how do we balance these like the church rules that we've set up for ourselves and like purity on the platform and calling people to a life with God, but also like embracing the mess of humanity. You know, what do we do with all of this? And I think every church has to reconcile that themselves in their own context. And like, you know, my brother planted a church and like in a lower socioeconomic area with like high rates of homelessness and drug abuse, and it's mega multi-ethnic in their area, and just how they have to deal with the mess of life, like the mess of life in their context. We were talking about it the other day, is so different than the mess of life in our church context, which is like 20 minutes away, bit more upper middle class. Like there's soul problems there. And in Billy's context, there's more like real world tangible problems. Like I can't put food on the table, or I'm addicted to drugs. And then there's other people who's like, I'm addicted to work or like success or what's in my bank account or my opinion or whatever. Like it's a very different struggles. And we as the church in our different contexts have to embrace mess differently and order that mess differently. And Gen Z are really hungry for someone to meet them exactly where they are at. Yeah.
that's so good. I know. Also, no, you go.
I was going to change subjects. Did you have something?
No, you go.
I was just going to say, like, tell me about Extol. What are you guys doing? I know we're joking about it before, but tell me I like how you thought that was going to be.
Yeah, I do.
Quiet.
Just keep the label out of it because we're sponsored.
I don't even know what I was thinking.
Tap water.
I don't even really know what I was thinking would happen.
Yeah, you're like,
just
you like this.
loudly crack a can of drink. Yeah.
Tell us about Extol. What are you guys doing? What even is it? And why'd you start
And
it?
how do you
Tell
keep
us
it
the story.
real?
Yeah. How do we keep it real?
And messy.
And messy.
But ordered.
Well, because I'm in charge, it's like fairly messy.
Yeah.
50 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, look, Extol is it's a worship movement that is like comes from our church in Adelaide, and a few years ago now, like our church, we're a uniting church. So I don't know what your pre-imagined thoughts about a uniting church are, but
My pre-imagined thoughts are pretty accurate, but
Yeah.
yours is different.
yeah.
Well, I can say it.
Yeah, so
I'm not wrong, am I?
yeah, the United Church is
They haven't given themselves a great rap over the last 10, 15 years.
there is a breadth of expression.
Yes.
Is how I would put it.
Yeah, nice.
Credit to the Uniting Church
Good
for.
one.
We don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
But
We can.
Their social justice work is some of the best in the country. Wesley Mission comes from the Uniting Church,
Yep.
amazing organisation. Stu Cameron is the CEO of that in Sydney, like one of the biggest welfare organisations in the world.
Yeah.
Amazing, and there is some real renewal happening in the Uniting Church in Queensland and South Australia in particular. So like New Life Church here in Brisbane is an amazing church, and they're also in the Gold Coast. And we're good buds with them, and there's a breadth in the Uniting Church, but we are charismatic Pentecostals in our heart and expression.
How do some of the other uniting churches get away with some of the crap that they do?
It's really complicated. It's genuinely complicated.
Like there's a uniting church here in West End that's like just a full social justice house. It's like Free Palestine. It's like all these, it's like any hot topic they can jump onto, they just do it. And it's like there's the gay pastor.
Yeah.
Like a gay minister. So like what can you tell me about the structure of the uniting church? Like what's the go?
Yeah, it's complicated. And like I don't have the full history of the liberal theology that happens in the Uniting Church. And like so I don't feel like super confident to speak into it too much. But
Like do you guys have autonomy?
yeah.
Complete autonomy?
Yeah, so it's a real miracle story, man, because when a lot of the plebiscite was happening and all of that, the Uniting Church have this is how I know to describe it. So like grain of salt, fully grain of salt, because I'm not like a church history theologian or whatever, but the way I think I would describe it is that they would say that the word of God is within Scripture as opposed to that Scripture is the word of God.
Oh.
And so I think
It's just up to interpretation.
there's
The rails are all a bit wider with that then. Like,
now the Uniting Church is that there's a breadth, and there are like it's less there's less of a unified culture across the place, and there is a lot of autonomy for every church, like a lot of autonomy. Most things happen very locally in the congregation. So
It says here the Uniting Church in Australia has a broad theological range with a strong foundation in liberal theology, which is what we spoke about.
Yeah.
Characterized by its commitment to social justice, engagement with contemporary culture, and emphasis on critical.
yeah, so like
where's that from though?
That's a overview on Google.
The Uniting Church is a combination of three denominations, and it happened in the
that's right.
70s,
That's
and
right.
it's the Presbyterians, the Methodists, and the Congregationalists. So the Presbyterians really like globally have significant arms of their church that would have a fairly liberal theology, hold to a fairly liberal theology, but quite a traditional expression, which is kind of an interesting dichotomy. And the Methodist side of that is probably the one that like historically I identify a bit stronger with, like the Wesleyan Methodist kind of revival in the UK and stuff. Did we go to John Wesley's house together in London?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was cool.
So anyway, governance-wise in the Uniting Church, this is like the most boring.
Well, I thought you were about to get anyway, Extol.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, back to Extol.
Governing.
We've got a lot of autonomy, and in South Australia there was this real miracle thing of like the way the governance works is, think about it like government in that you've got your local, your state, and your federal, and we have presbytery, synod, and assembly. Assembly's the national one. They decide on like doctrine and stuff.
Yeah.
The state synod is kind of a combination of all of the local stuff, but what they handle day to day is more like HR, legal, comms, that kind of stuff, the organization side of it, property, all that gear. And then the presbytery locally, like they ordain you, they do ministry of pastor stuff, they handle like pastoral disputes and congregational like whatevers. They support church plants and things like that.
Right.
So here in Queensland, presbyteries are separated by geography, and there are multiple. South Australia, because it's a smaller city state, has, I think there used to be many and then there was one. And my dad and a few others put together this idea for a non-geographic presbytery that at the time was like quite a revolutionary thought, and probably would get voted down at the state thing. Basically to say like, well, we outside, other than geography, want to align under like a traditional view of scripture and theology, and a commitment to like the future generations. And they put it up and it got voted down, obviously, like instantly. And they just went and prayed, contended in prayer, and they put it up again the next day and it got up.
Wow.
And so like basically everything we need to do as a uniting church, we can do in a family that has like significant alignment. And so like there are many legal protections that we have advantage of. We've got a family of churches that like we can align together and stuff, and you get ordained by a people group that like we all believe the same stuff. You don't have to jump through less hoops and that. And if we do need, like, you know, Dad looks after kind of a lot of the formation and leadership development for that conglomerate of churches.
So is the Uniting Church supportive of Extol?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't say the Uniting Church is generate our movement is for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
And we have a network across Australia called Propel, which has churches like New Life and Real Life here in Brisbane as well as part of it. And that's very also supportive. Like they're all charismatic, believe in church planting, believe in raising up the next generation of leaders and seeing souls saved and leaders raised kind of thing. So Extol.
Yeah. That was my transition back to Extol.
Yeah. So, like the reason I said we're a uniting church is because when I started, when my dad took on our church 20 years ago, it was a very different expression. It was, you know, a lot smaller. It was very family oriented. I won't get into that whole story, but like there were some changes that needed to be made. And the expression of worship was kind of like core to that. And so Katie Ives, who was my worship pastor at the time, she, like, her and Dad kind of went to war for a beautiful expression of worship that like looked like the future and looked like God honoring and great and beautiful and all of that stuff. And so I was really like a part of kind of seeing that outworked. And we used to, like, before weekly team nights were like possible, we could get people to like kind of an afternoon a year, like one afternoon a year.
Yeah, right.
And Extol started because someone in our church just said like, hey, you know, here's $1,000. Can you make this better, kind of thing? Because it was like just so bad.
So pity money.
So that's quite interesting. So this worship expression then essentially is new to United, like the normal that people would probably expect from your church or churches like yours. Is that like kind of the difference? And then
like I think for us, it wasn't, what we were doing was not revolutionary in any sense, but for our church, it revolutionized our church.
how do you guys land on that? Like, how do you all go like, this is what we feel the Holy Spirit's leading us to?
I mean, I was young then, but my dad was a worship leader. Like he was a worship musician growing up, like when I was growing up. Then he was a youth pastor and then he took on the church. And so like for him, worship was really important. And I think it's one of the core tenets of the Christian life is like a wholehearted expression of worship. And that I think people in their heart, worship was beautiful in its own way then, but it wasn't built for the future. And you know,
what does it look like to be built for the future?
I think there are certain considerations that you make that go beyond your personal preference that help build the future. And so at that time, like it was just it wasn't a have a go show. Like I don't want to poo-poo like these people. Like,
I don't want to poo-poo wee-wee, the fart wee-wee.
The poo-poo's the best word.
Yeah, I don't want to like
Poo-poo.
yeah, poo-poo. Yeah, but like these people were coming every Sunday morning and like giving their heart and like, you know, all of that stuff. And I think it was much about kind of putting like a good, a well-intentioned idea and heart into like a genuine theology of worship that we can kind of hold to as a community and as a church. And
what is that exactly? You're dancing around.
No, I'm just saying, like, I guess that there was not a like, we're here to do this because of these reasons. It's like, I like this song. And they wanted to lead the church and like people like certain things. And, you know, the instrumental was like a 9-minute guitar solo from like a 60-year-old dude who's like,
Let's go.
yeah. And like the reason I'm dancing around it a little bit is because like these were faithful people who like served our house for years. And some of them didn't come with us on that journey, but it's not because they were the wrong people or, you know, it's just because what we were doing, I think it spelled kind of the end for their season and stuff. And so like, these are good people. And I think that's why I'm like, you know, but there was a lot that needed to change, a lot that needed to change.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is like what needed to change? Like what for the future, like the way your dad and you guys saw the future of worship, what needed to change?
Yeah, was it
like,
like
you
the
know,
Holy Spirit wants to do this or?
You know, like us chatting before we record and it's like, it's just boys chatting and it's like, we don't care about the audience necessarily. And then maybe you invite someone else into the space and now we have to be considerate of like who they are as a person. Not that you dim down yourself, but like when it's internal, it's internal. And when it's external, it's external. And I think at that time it was very like by us, for us, and that's okay. But the church wasn't growing. They weren't seeing souls saved. There was a lot beyond the worship experience that wasn't necessarily God glorifying. And so, but when you worship Jesus, everything changes. And I think for us at that time, like we needed to look a lot more like, I mean, what year would have that been? 2010 than at 89, you know? And there was just some dated stuff. Like we needed to learn how to like embrace technology, embrace new songs, embrace like a worship experience that goes beyond like Christian karaoke or the equivalent of like we're singing scripture, like you sing times tables to remember it. Like it is a holistic experience, mind, body, spirit, soul, where we actually are worshiping Jesus and not just singing Christian songs in church. And again, I'm probably too young to remember like what that felt like, but what I did know is I didn't want to be there. And I think Dad was seeing the writing on the wall for like how many people want to really be here and who could be in this place that isn't as acclimatized to like this sucking, you know what I mean? Like we all don't care because it, you know, it's when your kid like draws a picture for you and it's like objectively terrible, but they did it. It's like, you just love it. But like someone else who doesn't care about your kid would be like, that's bad. And you're like, no, like my kid did it.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I think a lot of churches can be a little bit like that. Like we're just not even thinking about like, is this objectively beautiful? Objectively, holistically, is this objectively beautiful? It's one thing to be like hard after God, the out-of-tune guitar, like nothing matters except for what God thinks. But, you know, when we put our hand to the plow, we have to do a good job with what God's put in our hands. And so we were bringing in tools and theology and ideas and systems. And so really roundabout way of saying like we were trying to do that once a year is kind of what we could convince people to come to at Extol for our team. And then one year someone gave us $1,000 and I had made a friend at Hillsong at the time and I just reached out and said, would anyone be keen to like come and speak to our team basically? And they were like, yeah, definitely. And I was like, wow.
Joel Houston just got on a flight over.
Yeah. The whole United guys for $1,000.
It was early days.
1,000 big ones.
Yeah, they all got $30 each. So we had a couple of the guys come over and just minister to us, and we just decided like maybe we should do a worship night and invite some of our other church friends and stuff. And you know, people showed up, and then by the end of it, they were kind of like, "Well, so who are you getting next year?" And we're like, "Oh, we didn't really think about next year." And so then I guess we just kind of kept opening the doors every year. And look, it's not a massive gathering, but especially in the last couple of years since I've taken it on, and Katie, my worship pastor, became our associate pastor, and now she's doing a lot of itinerant ministry and stuff. And So I've been looking after Extol for a little while, and we've just been figuring out like what actually is this. And I think just even in our last gathering in February, I think it started to feel like what I've had in my heart for it. Like I'm not good at like.
What's in your heart? What are you feeling?
I was in a cafe this morning, kind of writing down like what I'm thinking about Extol, and I think one of the things that I like have longed deeply for, like I talked about earlier, is just my people. Like I just love being with my guys and like people who understand me and people who know what I'm walking through and like are walking through their own stuff. I just love the family of creatives together. And I think in Australia, when I think about what is there that people like us who like, there are guys who like, which just all they want to do is drum on Sundays. They just love it. Like they just want to use their gift for the local church, like so much. People are just like worship leaders or songwriters or sound guys or like video nerds or no offense, video nerds. But, but there's these people who like, there's these people who just love God and they love the church.
Yeah,
and,
so real.
But I think sometimes the work of creativity in the church space, like Sunday comes around every week and we can be a little bit like head in the sand about that stuff, it's very easy to do. But what I find is like, there's kind of nothing like when I was talking to someone in Melbourne once, and this is what sparked my heart for it, is like literally me and a mate caught up with a mutual friend for coffee, and we spent the whole time talking about like, how do you bring in new songs? Like just fully talking shop, not like, how's your family? Like, how are you really stuff? Like just talking shop, like what do we love about church and that? And at the end of it, man, like we just embraced, and he was like feeling really alone at that time in ministry. And he was like, man, it's just so good to talk to people who do this too, you know? And I think when you're in those rooms, it's like you find the balm for your soul that you didn't know you needed. And I think my heart for Extol is that it would be an oasis for creatives, that like once a year or a couple times a year, we can get together with our people who like fully get us and drink from the well together and sit together and eat together and worship together and pray together. So like awesome. We do the first session last year, we obviously open with worship. The next thing we do is a segment called Coffee Catch Up. On your rego, you put in your coffee order and we'll deliver it to you in your seats. And it's like 20 minutes across the room. Like we're going to do, you can do this after as well, but like we're doing Coffee Catch Up now. Name Bad John, get to know each other, have a chat, trade details.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's at a conference, because I don't want it to feel like conferencing that like you're going to come away with the 5 top tips to lead worship better. I want people walking away feeling like fully refreshed, fully understood, fully like less like you come to it to get the answers to your problems, more like you come to it to like meet people who might have some answers, or meet people who might be a shoulder to lean on, or like, how many times do I call you and be like, I don't know, how do you turn on a Blackmagic camera or whatever? Like, and that's like very much, for me, I know the greatest resource in my ministry has not necessarily, no shade, not necessarily been Bible college or a masterclass or a message at a conference, as much it is who's in my phone book and like who I'm in relationship with that I can actually call. And so for me, I don't want to be the place that's like delivering all the solutions to everyone's stuff. Like I think there are great stuff for that. There's YouTube, there's like other resources that are amazing for that. But for me, I'm like, we need to be in each other's worlds to like solve real.
So true.
It's nothing like pulling out your Refidex and going around to your friend's house for a cup of tea.
Yes.
Early 2000s activity. Do you know what I mean?
But like that's.
You guys remember the Refidex?
Do I ever?
Yeah. So that's the heart of Extol for me, is the oasis.
Sorry.
No, I love that.
Let's look up, like, there'd be a lot of Thompsons in there.
Yeah.
Look at the family now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going on a tangent.
There was a lot of
It
Thompsons.
also said like where you live.
Yeah, I know, that's insane that we just used to like to the
Yeah,
whole
actually, that's insane.
Name, address.
Yeah.
But it's
just like, hey, to me,
Hodgman, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the full name.
yeah, it's wild. But that's my heart for the places that it would be like more than any message, more than any masterclass, that you walk away just marked by like people and the presence of God. Like that's what my heart is. And so I would love to just cultivate a space where relationship and lifelong friendship and, that can just be like like can just be grown. And so I don't love doing like, we do it. Like we do songwriting, we do like leading your team better. We do like how to put together like a beautiful Christmas campaign or whatever. Because like what I love about it is it's not our church, like here's all the answers, because like we definitely don't have them. We're like a small, medium-sized uniting church in Adelaide. But what I love is like the breadth.
You laugh first.
Laugh at that.
Yeah, what's wrong with that, bro? Actually, let's get to the bottom of that. What's so funny about a small uniting church in Adelaide, dude?
Come on, man.
Nothing.
Good.
You sure you don't want to share with the class, man?
No, I got other things to share.
Well, you're INC, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys are Methodists. Do you know that?
Yeah,
you are?
We're a bunch of wackos.
No, you're Methodist. You're
you're
Pentecostal Methodist. So like
crazies.
right before the Uniting Church formed, who's the guy who started it?
Clark Taylor.
He was a Methodist minister.
Yeah, but he
Got kicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a
He
big
went
breakdown.
rogue, and that's
And then he went rogue
But
again.
this is the thing.
He seemingly continued to go rogue.
hey. All I know is he had a pumping
Yeah, but
TV ministry.
the
Healing everyone.
Our spiritual heritage is the same, because at the same time there were revivals happening through South Australia. Like I remember talking to someone at church who there's a church right on the corner, like across from the uni, right in the middle of our CBD, called Scott's Church. And right now it's
What's called the pastor?
yeah, it was Scotty.
This is Scott's church.
Yeah, Scotty from the block. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty Cam Scott.
You kind of remind me of Scotty a bit.
What?
You give a bit of Scotty energy.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Not a big enough belly.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
No, I don't know. It's
I'm working on it.
Anyway, Scott's church.
But like, we started
googling Scott Gare.
Scotty Cam.
we started our city campus in this church, and there was someone in our church who got saved there in like the 60s and 70s. Beautiful, right across from both the unis.
Very cool.
I love these churches, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So right now it's probably like a relic of its former self, but back then they were getting 900 people on a Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
And so like I say that to say, when that stuff was happening with Clark Taylor, in the Methodist kind of tradition, it's happening all over. And then, I don't really know, church history stuff happened and they ended up forming the Uniting Church. But like, we come from the same spiritual heritage, so don't knock the
yeah.
Well, we all did, don't we? We all go back. So you end up at
Well, we all do
Catholic.
go back to Adam
Yeah, we do.
at some point.
Yeah.
We all go back to the creation.
Yes. But anyway, to say that, what was I saying?
To the next level.
We don't have the answers to like all of the questions, but I love getting my friends to contribute to that space from different backgrounds. Like we had Josh Burnett last year, and it's me, him, and Anna Moyer from Elevation Church in Sydney sharing on like leading teams, and we all have different opinions about it and different cultures, but like we're able to share from our experience, and the room can kind of take what they need. And maybe someone's like, the problems Josh has, I resonate with, or the problems Anna's got, I resonate with, and we connect after make those friendships. And like how Chris Mazzano might put together a campaign is different than how Caleb, one of our guys who works for JRJ at Avenir, different from how he would do it. And so like it's amazing to bring together these different voices to like contribute to the space. And so, and that's the beauty of it. And I'm not, my highest commitment is that we do the real thing. Like we do talks and conversations about like longevity and volunteer ministry, like not doing the 6-year dance around a church kind of boost to the next one, but like we've got people in our team who've been leading worship in our church for 30 years.
That's incredible.
And we've got this woman, Linda, who's like, I never am confident enough to guess her age, and it's probably best that I don't, but she was one of the first, if not the first person saved in our church when it was planted. And she still serves on our team now, like 40 years later. And she's been from like a school staff room to now our own church building, in-ears, lights, tracks, the whole thing, and just faithfully served. And now is like mothering and auntying and grandmothering our team. And how do you actually do that? And so she has conversations about the struggles of like knowing me as a 7-year-old and knowing me now as a 30-year-old who is her worship pastor. And that's a difficult dynamic to manage through a life. And so I really want to have conversations about that kind of thing, like because my belief is that better creatives do better creative stuff, like healthier creatives. And a healthy, creative family can create a really beautiful world.
Should we do an Extol X KC conference in Brisbane?
Oh, why not? Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
Should we just do it?
Yeah,
Why not?
Well, we've been talking about it.
We've been talking to you.
We've been talking about it. Why don't we just do it?
You've said it on the pod, so it's going to have to happen now.
Yeah, I know.
Because someone's going to see it. They're
This
going
is
to
an
post it.
announcement.
Well, let's just do it here.
Okay.
Let's do the
Which
first
camera?
one here.
Christmas Day
Wait,
2025.
Which one am I looking at?
This one here. All right. Hey, everyone. We got exciting news.
Yeah.
I'm here with Sam and Lochie, and they're going to tell you some big stuff.
Yeah, Christmas Day, we're going to be...
Christmas Day.
You know what I love about Extol is what you're talking about is like, I think so many things are important, like conferences, speakers. It's like a moment, an encounter, all those things can literally change the course of someone's life, put them on a whole different path. But that moment, that person that imparted then is not going to walk on that path with you. And then you're putting such a highlight on there's going to be connections and people that are going to sustain you, because you could get chucked on a whole new direction, passionate, full, start running in that direction. And then you start to slow down and you stop and you're like, I'm so alone on this island with this call of God in my life, going this new thing. But like, what do I do? Now
I think
who
a
do I
lot
talk
of
to?
people like, you know, especially guys in smaller to medium-sized churches, but also people in like really large contexts, like it can be really hard to find your people and find people that you can call who will answer. And I've been so blessed by people who like have been that for me. You know, like Dean Usher being one example. Like we met at a Hillsong thing 10 years ago and he was like, I happened to be in Melbourne the following week, which is where he lives. And he goes, here's my number. And he was like a hero, like it still is a hero of mine. Wrote some of my favorite worship songs ever, Praise the Name, Anchor, like just absolute hero. Gives me his number and goes like, let's connect. And he's been a big brother to me for 10 years. And I feel very natural in like, I want to seek out my people and I want to find my guys. But I know it's not the same for everyone. And so my heart is to create and open a space where that's possible for more people, because I know how isolating it can be. Like, and for you guys, like, you know, it's pretty isolating, 2 a.m. Like you got a deadline, you got to finish the Christmas opener or the conference recap video or whatever, and you just kind of solo. And that's necessary sometimes, but being able to share those experiences with people from different contexts is really important. And even like, you know, this writing camp that I've been on this week is the fruit of like not great vision and great ideas, though it's the fruit of relationship. Like I'm buds with Cam Gulo and buds with Loch Holmes. Like he's been one of my closest friends in ministry the last couple of years. And I'm friends with Jesse Rose. And so like the richness of those rooms is not because we're great at what we do, not even because we're part of the same world, but because we're in each other's worlds actively. And my heart is to create a world where that is more possible for more people, because my true belief is that art and creativity, I don't know where this quote's from, but pierces the soul without permission. And great, objectively beautiful things will find people's hearts. And so I think when we do that together as the church and not in competition with each other, like competition is easy across the fence, but competition's really hard when you actually know someone. Like, you know, there's this guy, Jake, who you should get Jake Too Good on the podcast. Do you know Jake?
Jake who?
Too Good? His last name's Too Good.
Thick laugh.
Yeah, it's cool.
He is too good. So there is
He's a church planner in Adelaide and we've been friends for a long time. But like when he was, you know, a youth leader and I was like, you know, younger, we had just decided via Instagram we hated each other. Like we just were like, I don't like this guy, he looks like a douche kind of thing. And then we met in person and we were like doing the whole like young buck, like I'm not giving you the time of day, like both trying to like, you know,
Be
out
too
for
cool.
each other.
Yeah.
And then we like became friends and we love each other. And it's like when you actually know someone, we have so much common ground. And I think like you can easily build up all these narratives about the church down the road competing with you or like stealing your people or stealing your ideas or like doing something better than you and you're doing stuff to impress people and no one actually cares. And like, you know, it's a complicated thing. But at the end of the day, like one of the things I love about our team, and I think it's really important that we do this, is like every Sunday morning we gather our leaders and do a prayer breakfast at 6:30 and we pray for a church in our city. Like
that's cool.
Because I know at 10 a.m, like that's when most church services are in Adelaide, we all finish the pre-roll or whatever we do and we begin to glorify God together, the church of God in our city. And for our people and our team to be, and all of us to be aware of what we're a part of, can break down all of those walls. It can and we can
Unity.
begin to create something beautiful together.
It's such a healthy thing. It's like the realization that we're not playing a team sport and we're trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
It's like, I think a lot of people approach life in that way, whether it's like business, like friendships, relationships, like it's so easy to like feel like you're competing against people when it's like you're actually competing against no one.
Yeah, we're actually all in this together, and all the competition is manufactured. And so like I think when you begin to like really be in relationship with people and begin to love people where they're at, you can begin to create a beautiful world. And so that's my heart, is that creators would have a place to like and be themselves and be honest and be with others. And
That's sweet.
and we want to minister to people deeply, and we want people to meet God and meet each other and all that stuff. So
Well, that's a great segue to say part 2 podcast is at the Brisbane conference next year.
yeah, let's
Christmas Day, I think.
Christmas Day.
Let's do part 2 of this podcast at the Brisbane conference.
Done.
Are you keen?
I'm keen.
Yeah,
Are
we'll
we
make the
doing it?
announcement.
All right,
Dude,
we're doing
it's
it.
in the potty. It's not getting cut.
And we're shaking on it.
We're shaking on it. Yeah, so
Let's just do it, because
Let's
we've
do it.
I've been talking about this for ages.
Yeah.
Stockholm's. I mean, it's just a big commitment, but let's just do it. I think we could do it together, you know?
yeah.
Let's just do something.
Yeah. Yeah. So like what we have planned right now is like we do worship gatherings in Adelaide, and we believe in what's going on. Like right at the start, we were talking about like One Body in Sydney. There's like
One Body,
Tequila,
that's it.
Shira Nights.
Yeah.
There's the To God Be the Glory up here.
All the micro communities.
There's Dwell in Melbourne. There's Extol happening in Adelaide. I think there's something birthing in Perth right now. Like we just want to be.
something perthing.
People are keen
Perth
for all of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's so cool to
They
see.
are.
It's like there's like multiple cities all doing the same thing, and people are like going to all of them.
Yeah,
So
and
like,
I
oh,
think-
it's cool. It's
Yeah,
like it's not my Sunday. It's not my like my church, my family. It's like
just
it's
Gen-
body
it's
of
just-
Christ coming together.
It's just Gen Z going, oh, if you guys aren't going to do it, we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean?
And I think like for us, like I don't the empire in me, which we all have in us, goes like I want to dominate the whole world. Like I'm a competitor. Like I love to win.
You won't be dominating me around here, mate.
Well, I'll try after the pod.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
okay.
Mania.
Right, yeah.
I think you would, dude. You'd crush me. Like
Yeah,
my knees are not like they used to be. But like
Sweep the legs.
we
My
want,
knees are getting better.
we want to support and be a friend to what's going on across Australia, because like it's
Yeah.
beautiful and amazing, every expression. And so what we're doing is what we can in Adelaide, and we're hosting another gathering in February, 26, 27, 28 of Feb. It's the best time to be in Adelaide. It's cheaper to be in Adelaide than anywhere else in Australia, except for probably Hobart. It's cheap to get there, cheap to get around, and it's the Adelaide Fringe. It's an amazing time to be there. But anyway,
Is that
all
how you
to
stretch
say-
your $1,000? Like, cheaper flights together, ready to
Yeah, basically. So, you know, we're doing that in February, and it's going to be great. We're just hoping that God meets us and people meet each other and walk away
It'll be amazing.
changed.
Awesome.
It'll be amazing. Well, bro, thank you so much
Yeah,
for,
thank you.
for coming on the pod.
No worries. Anytime.
I feel like we should go and eat some food now or something and
Sounds
actually
delicious.
do what we say.
Yep. Done.
All right. Love you, bro.
Love you, man.
Done. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. Now, if you have not yet, please consider subscribing, because that helps us so much get this podcast out there, gets it on discovery pages, gets more people involved. And as a result, that means we can get bigger productions, bigger guests on the show. We can do more and get the people you want to see on this show. And with that as well, if you want to have someone in particular that you think we should interview, get on Kingdom Creatives, please consider following us on Instagram, drop a comment, send us a DM, and just get in contact with us. Thanks, guys.